Hi, this video is a demonstration of a major project that is 3D reconstruction for virtual exhibitions. The project has two major components. The first one deals with the generation of Gaussian splats, and the second one deals with the editor consisting of a renderer and other editing tools. Here we can see the code map that is generated using our input images, and this is essentially a bunch of point cloud data files that we feed into our system to generate the Gaussian splat. Now let's move on to the editor. So this is the site for our editor, which we can move through, and it consists of a bunch of pre-created scene configuration files that consist of the splats and multiple objects that we can go through. We can scroll through the scenes like this, and if we want to create a new scene, then we can create it as such. Let's create a new scene called test 5. Save it, and here we can essentially load up a splat file, which is let's choose parking clean, um, and this is the loaded Gaussian splat file. We can essentially interact with the editor like any other 3D creation application like Blender or Maya, and we can also load up other object files and not just splat files, which are for example, let's take this Volkswagen. Okay, so uh, we can essentially, like other editing tools, we can select and transform the objects as such. We can also scale them like this. And not only this, but we can also translate and rotate and scale our splats as well. So if we wanted to, we can change the position of the splat like this, as well as change its scale and whatnot. Next, we can also, since this is supposed to be a thing for creating virtual exhibitions, we can also essentially add input text like this and interact with the object models. So let's say this is a car and this is a car, and the car goes blue. Update it, and we can essentially interact with this in the viewer, which comes later. And we can also essentially input camera paths, which are the splines that is used to define the path that the camera moves through. This acts as a form of restriction so that we can essentially create a curated form of viewing experience. Now we can save this scene, and then let's go back to the main screen, and if we scroll through the things, then we can see that our test file is present there. Now let's go through an existing scene so that we can see how it plays out. So this scene does not have any um, predefined camera paths, so a viewer can essentially go through all the entire scene without any restrictions, and this does give a sense of freedom in the scene. And say this splat is a combination of two, sorry, this scene is a combination of two splat files, which is this temple right here and this other temple right here. These two are not, in reality these two temples are not as close, and yeah, the visual fidelity presented by these splats is quite good. Now let's go check out another scene, which would be this demo, I guess. And in this scene we can essentially um have a multitude we in this scene we have a multitude of objects, and in here we have a contrived viewing experience as defined by the camera paths, and in here we can essentially move through the scene and we can interact with the objects as like this. So this is not a Thanka painting, and we can look at the information provided by the object. And yeah, this is our major project. Thank you for watching.